Alright, so welcome back again. So today is a clear morning. The sun is out, which is good, and we're getting warmer and warmer. So we have successfully built an application that can create new guestbook entries with post requests and read them from a Mongo database with a GET request. But what if a user makes a typo or wants to remove their message? Our application is incomplete without the ability to update and delete the data. So these four operations like create, read, update, delete are famously known as CRUD. Okay, they are the foundation of almost every data-driven application on the web. So in today's lesson, we'll complete the set by adding update and delete functionality to our guestbook. Now, as we discussed, CRUD stands for create, meaning read and update and delete. Create, adding new data. So we did this with collection.insert1, and then read, retrieving the existing data. We did this with collection.find, and then update, modifying existing data. We'll learn about collection.updateOne, and then delete, removing existing data. We'll learn about collection.deleteOne. So mastering these four operations means you can build the core logic for almost any kind of application, from a to-do list to social media platform. Now, how do we tell the database which specific entry we want to update or delete? We need a unique identifier for each document. So when we insert the document into MongoDB, it automatically adds a special field called ID. So this ID or underscore ID is a unique object ID that acts as a primary key for that document. So it guarantees to be different from every single entry. So we will use this underscore ID in our URLs to target specific entries. For example, to delete an entry, you will send a request to a URL like entry delete that specific long ID. So this is called a route parameter, right? So now let's go ahead in our project, and then we're gonna add a delete we're gonna add the edit and delete to our guestbook. So we just need to enhance our Mongo powered guestbook from the last lesson. So we'll have to update the main guestbook template. First, we will need to go to views and then guestbook.nodejs, which is our template. Then we'll have to edit that part out. So we need to add the edit and the delete links next to each entry in our views in our guestbook.ejs file, and then we'll use the unique underscore ID to construct the links for each specific entry. All right, so let's go ahead and modify it. So in our the for each, if we scroll down, we have this for each loop somewhere here. So we've got this loop here, and then inside of it, perhaps in the same thingamajig, we'll just edit out, and we will have a class with or rather a div with a class called actions. And then in actions, we just need the edit link. So that's gonna be an anchor. So the href will be entry, and then slash edit, and then slash then we need the ID there. So it's gonna be entry dot underscore ID. Then we can just close out our template, and then here we just say edit. All right, then we need a delete form. So if a delete, because we are posting back the data, we actually need to use a form, right? Let me just do this. So we're gonna have a form, so the action the action is gonna be entry / delete, and then slash the ID, entry dot underscore ID. Right, and then we need a method. The method will be post, because we are posting back the data. And then maybe we can just do a little bit of a style here. Just gonna add display inline, yeah, just display inline. And then inside the form we just need a submit button, so we'll need a button that is a type of submit, and then delete. So that's all that we actually need to do. All right, I think maybe since we've got a style sheet, we can go ahead and apply the style. So we've got that actions, and here we only need a margin top, maybe margin top. Let's make it about 10 pixels or so. Okay, and then maybe we can do the actions anchor, and then also the actions button. So we can remove the text decoration, meaning that underline, the default underline that we get with the links, and then we can do the font size. So the font size, we can make it 0.9 pm, and then let's add the padding. Let's do the padding. Padding, we can make it 4 pixels top and bottom, and then 8 pixels right and left. And then we can maybe put a border radius of 4 pixels. All right, and then now let's take the anchor, the actions, anchor, and it will have a background color. Let's make it orange, and then the color of the text will be black. All right, and then we'll take the actions button, and let's get the background color. Again, you can apply any color, it doesn't matter really. I'm just also guessing my colors. It's not like I already know what that color is going to look like, so I'm just also guessing them. But I mean, when you're developing in a serious node, then you don't have to guess them. You must make sure that you check. There's actually a color picker from Google that you can use. All right, so we make the border, we remove the border, and then the last thing is change the cursor to pointer. All right, so I think we actually good with this. Now, what we need to do is to create the edit page template. So we're gonna go back to views, and then we're gonna just make a new file, or rather, yeah, we can just make a new file, and then we call it edit dot ejs dot ejs. All right, that's so this is edit entry. All right, so for style, I'm just gonna copy that one off. So the style will be style. So I'm just gonna go ahead and copy this one off the casebook. All right, as is. So we can just copy is as is. There we go. Okay. So here on the body we need the container, and then we'll have h1, which is edit your entry, and then we have the form. So the form action will be slash entry slash update, and then slash, we need to pass the entry ID, entry dot underscore ID. Okay, so then we close this out, and then the method is post. All right, and then we're going to have the form group label for name, and then we can just say here your name, and then we're gonna have, so what we need to do is to pre-fill the existing data. And so actually we could copy this div within, and then let's just go to edit. So we could actually do that. We could just copy. Let me just put these things nicely. All right, so what did I type there? Euro name. It's your name. So meaning we've had a wrong thing. So now to pre-fill with the existing data, we're just gonna put the value. So maybe somewhere here we can just say value will be entry dot name. So we are just pre-filling with the data, and then we can do the same thing with the message. So somewhere here we can just say entry dot message. All right, and then here we just need to say update or save the changes. All right, so that's all that we need to do. Now the first thing that we must actually also import object ID. So here we will just say object ID. Now we need on the get route, which is this route, we also need to show the edit form. So somewhere here we're gonna have a get route, so we can just say app.get and then slash entry and then slash edit and then slash ID. Okay, and try entry ID is new object ID, and then now the next thing is that we need to find the specific document by its ID. And then if not entry, then we return res.status of 404. So we return the 404 status, entry not found. Otherwise we want to actually render the edit file, and then if there's an error, then we catch the error. Alright, then we actually need, so that was a get route. We also need the post route now. To handle the update. So I'm just gonna go and put it somewhere here. Comma, then we need the Mongo command to update the document. So this is a filler which documents to actually update. And then we redirect back. Alright, so if there's an error, then we need to catch that error. And then finally we need a post route to handle the deletion. So I'm also going to put it somewhere here. So this is good. Now we can go ahead and test it. So the ID is not a simple string, it's a special object ID type. Okay, so we need to import this from the driver to correctly query by ID. And then our routes, all of them, they've got that colon ID, which creates a route parameter Express makes this value available to us in request.params.id. all right, and then collection.findOne, this command finds a single document that matches the filter, perfect for getting the one entry that we want to edit. And then updateOne and deleteOne, it finds a document matching the filter and applies the update or the delete. And then the set operator tells MongoDB to update the specified fields. Now let's run our CRUD. So first I must just cd to in order to run it to lesson 11. So what I can do, I can just right click, rename, copy, and then I can just paste it here. Right, then we can go ahead and run this server mongo.js. And I've got some error.
Mine is running, but it says it's failing to connect.
Okay, here's the problem. This run must come at the end. So it's running because it hasn't connected yet. Alright, so hence it's giving me that error. It's because I called run before it could actually connect. So let's save that and let's see.
Alright, let's go ahead to our Mongo class dashboard in securitization, and then we just need to add our current IP. Okay, so I've added the current IP address and confirming. It might just take a moment for Atlas to actually deploy the changes. Right now that our IP address has been whitelisted, the database should be able to connect. Let's go back to the tenant and we'll run the Node server again. And there we go, connected to the database successfully. So that's exactly what we wanted to see. Now the final test will just go and edit a record in our application just to make sure that our CRUD functionality is working as expected. Perfect. The record has been updated, and there you have it. We successfully used CRUD in our application.